We got ourselves already the big man Quadro. We got ourselves Canny with Fortune, with Judo, as well as Tasty. And we got Dancer Lols playing a Night Elf sub rogue. That is a sub artifact rogue weapon. I hope this man goes first. We got ourselves DVGZXZ. DV, I'll find a name for you at one point or another. Hamburger playing more of the Balance Druid. Prox coming in as a Feral. Nyax going back on a Frost Death Knight. And Reptiles going back as a, I want to say maybe a Marksman Hunter? Maybe, because there's no pet. Maybe he'll summon it later. Maybe playing that Marksman Hunter for today. Good luck and have fun. Is it going to be Reptiles first? I think these guys are still trying to get the roll. Looks like Hamburger is going to be the first one up for Team Blue versus Canny. The rematch of the century. These guys have had a duel last week with a Fire Mage with Greater Pyro, committed to it. But Hamburger had him on the run from the very get-go. The dot and prog-based playstyle was huge for him. So maybe this time he might be able to overpower Canny with this one. Hamburger, what I like about Hamburger is he's been sticking with Boomkin. He plays Feral from time to time, but he's been sticking with Boomkin, trying to make it work any time of the day. And I very much appreciate it. Because not a lot of Boomkin representation in these duels either. Watching a class like a Boomy, like an underrated class or spec, perform well, diving into a bear form right before the breath, does get hit with a ring, and Canny is going to be able to get himself at least one Greater Pyro off. Going to be a late game trinket for Hamburger, catching a prowl for a second, but that's going to be trinket out of the way. Canny is still eating some dots. Are the procs still going to be hitting him? He's just going to go for food instantly, just trying to recover a little bit. So Hamburger is going to be behind on Trinket, trying to go for the Cyclone. Going to be a breath out of Canny. Going to be a fairly short breath, however. No Ring of Frost for a little bit. Hamburger needs to get the dots going. Could even go for a bit of damage right now. Temporal coming in for Canny, and Hamburger is just going to go for a little bit of line of sight. Canny taking quite a lot of damage in the opener there. Temporal doing a huge heal for him. Hamburger didn't even go for anything crazy of damage. He just get an insane amount of procs or something. He might have, as Canny is taking quite a bit of damage. His shield is wearing out pretty heavily. Hamburger making sure to read out the guy. Canny trying to close in maybe for another breath. And so as long as Hamburger keeps max range, he actually outranges Canny completely. Look at that damage out of Hamburger. That's not even Incarnation. Does get a blink breath into Ring of Frost. Is going to be able to stop Hamburger in place. Has Bark Skin if he needs to. Might go for a Bark Skin for the Greater Pyro. Is pre-barking this. Canny's going to drop down Meteor and everything. Combustion coming down. Hamburger going to take quite a lot of damage. Going on for a little bit of renewal. And it's trying to get a couple Star Surges into Canny. Save the chicken proc it out for him. Does get a root onto the Mage. Stopping him from moving for just a second. Waiting out for that same chicken. It's Canny still taking all that dot damage. The procs is still doing quite a lot of Hamburger. Closing in yet again. Canny could go for another breath. Going to be a short opener by Hamburger. I think just getting a nice little bleed onto Canny with Crucible to follow. Does get him silenced on the fire into a little bit of damage. No way for him to get cauterized back. Does get a jump for cauterize coming out. Actually almost died without a cauterize. Needed to use Ice Block there maybe at the last opportunity, but Canny is going to be able to get cauterized. Icebox still available if needed. Still taking quite a bit of proc damage from Hamburger, whatever those trinkets and proc abilities are. Canny's just not doing that good. That's going to be a shield for him. Trying to get a blink breath onto Hamburger, is going to line it up, and Hamburger, is he going to get lucky out for that Ring of Frost? He does not. Canny still might die to the dots themselves. Might have to ice block here. Meteor coming down to Hamburger, dies ice block to follow. Barely any health left. Trying to continue going for Fireball, and any damage he's got going on. Bark's going to come down for Hamburger, and he does get to execute Canny out of the game there. Well played by Hamburger, getting caught in a breath a couple times, but the procs do a lot of damage here to Canny. And next up is going to be Tasty. I think he's going to give Hamburger full opportunity for an auto duel, and Hamburger is going to start at least with a trinket. Renewal coming up shortly after. He does have Bark Skin on a fairly short cooldown, so he will be able to use it at least once versus Tasty, but it's going to be his opener here as a Balance Druid. Does he open up with a Rake maybe? Or does he just try to get close enough to Tasty and open up from a distance? Might be better to open from distance. Going to be Eye setting up for Tasty. It's going to be max range from Hamburger for a little bit, as Hamburger is setting up huge damage on him. The dots are doing quite a lot of work. Killing Surges does come out for Tasty. Is going to get himself quite a bit of sustain. That's going to be lots of damage dropping onto Hamburger without even a Lightning Lasso. Borger jumping into bear form just in case Lightning Lasso does come out, and it does. Tasty has him in a decent position, knocking him all the way to the other side of the arena. Huge Earth Shock. Lots of damage onto Hamburger. Hamburger. He had to go renewal mid of that. If he didn't renewal, that would have been the game, honestly, right there. Still tried to get away from Tasty as best possible. Does pre-bark skin ahead of time in case Tasty goes for any kind of damage. Tasty just tried to catch him at any corner, anywhere he can. Hamburger, again, still struggling a little bit on damage. Just going to get a root onto Tasty with a silence to follow. Tasty is still right on his tail. Hamburger needs to get himself a heal or two. Does look like he juke away from the guy. Is going to use Crucible Flame in order to get a defensive going with a Swift Interactor. Next Light Lasso is still going to put him in a bad spot. Might want to pre-bear this. That's going to be a trinket available for that light. It's a huge Earth Shock Cyclone coming out. Stacey, he doesn't have a way to trinket out of it. He uses Dwarven Racial. Hamburger almost gets to escape, but the damage over time and the procs are enough for him to go down. Tasty just wrecking, shredding through the guy. Huge Earth Shocks out of Tasty, honestly. We haven't seen that man play that Elemental Shaman in quite a while. Huge Earth Shocks, I gotta say. What are you playing for your setup? There's no way you're playing Blood of the Enemy because you haven't had to close him. I'm going to get Crucibles for everybody. Yep, that is going to be Crucible as Nyx lands a grip and a stun onto Tasty. Getting knocked way out there, out in the platform. That's going to be Tasty with the ability to get some freebie damage onto Nyx. Might have to burn AMS there. Does go for an AMS. And Tasty is going to catch himself a heal. 5 minutes in, and dampening is going to start closing in on both of them. Nyx better make a play as soon as possible. As Tasty just shredding through the guy. Lightning Lasso to follow. Does get a Lichborn rolling. And that's going to be a couple of Death Strikes back to back. While he got that Underrod Trinket proc, so Tasty looking to get away from Nyx for a moment. Does drop down the Earth Elemental. It's going to be a second wall for Tasty in case things go bad for him. Has the ability to get himself a second wall. Does use it right now. As you can see, the little shields kind of circling around him. Does get him a momentary moment of wall. Releasing the damage he's taken for a second. That's going to be a Hex on a Nyx. Has a Trinket if he wants to. Does not need to. I guess something from Tasty procced out the Hex. As he's going to get locked out on nature for a moment. Tasty's still kind of behind right now with Nyx. As he gets himself yet another transfusion. Tasty needs to get himself another Lightning Lasso. He needs to get another Thunderstorm onto Nyx or something just to equalize this out. Lightning Lasso does come out. Tricky get a force out of the Death Knight. Can he walk the Death Knight near a ledge? He actually does walk him to one ledge and knocks him all the way to the other side of the platform. Using Goblin Racial to try to catch up. Now it looks like it's going to be happening. Maledic stacked up pretty heavy on Tasty. He's using a Pet Stone onto Nyx to keep him at bay for a second. And it's going to get through the Maledic immediately. Still trying to continue the self-heals with Crucibles while he's got it. Nyx still has quite a bit of defenses available. AMS and Lichborn should be back up. Huge Earth Shock into Nyx right now. Out of Tasty as he rotates yet another wall. Stormkeeper is going to be up for free. And Nyx's AMS should be going down very, very soon. If Tasty can just find a way to disengage with this DK for just a moment yet again, he might be in a good spot. Huge Death Strikes for Nyx, and it's going to go Lichborning out of that stun. He's going to be able to rotate between Lichborn and a Trinket. I think next Lightning Lasso might actually be full, so if Tasty can survive until next Lightning Lasso and lap a bunch of damage with that Lightning Lasso, he might have himself a chance there if Nyx doesn't go pre-hitting that Death Pack. There's going to be an interrupt missed by Nyx onto that Hex, allowing Tasty to finally get some recovery. And Nyx does get forced out of that Hex by Tasty's procs, getting knocked way back. Doesn't have a grip for it. And Tasty is going to be able to at least catch himself a little bit of reset. He does have Grounding Totem. Should be using that for any grips or anything. Lightning Lasso finally ending up on Nyx. He doesn't have an answer for it. Does Tasty have huge damage to follow from there? He might have some. Doesn't look like he does. He's waiting for that Earthstrike if anything. Dropping down Earthbind Totem, which Nyx eliminates immediately. Maybe Tasty has another knockback if needed. He does have Grounding still. He did use Grounding there for the stun, which is very well done. And that's going to be huge Earthshock into Nyx. He's still continuing with Death Strikes to try to keep healing himself. Tasty trading now those Crucibles defensively. AMS up for Nyx so he doesn't eat that Hex, but he cannot stop Tasty from casting spells for a second. And Tasty still continues to jump into Ghostful from time to time, trying to get some mobility away from Nyx, trying to shake the guy off. Lightning Lasso going to be tricking it out by Nyx, or Lichborn out. Tasty actually not looking all that good. Hex trying to come out in between of those stuns. Nyx has a Trinket if needed. Does get interrupted on nature for Tasty. Tasty actually is completely locked out. Does get a Crucible heal rolling. He needs to find a way to disengage. Maledic stacking up pretty high on the guy, and down he goes. Nyx did get himself a Remorseless Winter rolling, just stuck on Tasty as best as he could. Very difficult to shake off a Frost DK with a Trinket, Lichborn, and AMS. Who is up next on Team Red? Looks like Fortune DC'd. Judah Master's there, and Dancer Low's there. At this point, one of you guys basically skip out Fortune and let somebody else go. It's going to be Dancer Lows versus Nyx at 8 minutes in, boys. 8 minutes in. So far, it's been a 1-to-1 for each team. Whoever goes up first, or whoever goes up next, is usually the winner. Going to be instant Trinket out of Dancer as he gets hit with a Strangulate by the Death Knight. Looking to catch a reset completely. I don't know if that's a good idea there. Just a rogue to rogue. Does land a blind into Nyx, so you might be able to catch a full reset. The dots are probably going to be up by Nyx. Does he get a sap? He does land a sap regardless. What kind of opener does Dancer go for? That's going to be Legendborn available for Nyx if he wants to. Shortest kidney shot, however. Into a cheap shot to follow right after. That's going to be AMS for Nyx immediately. An advantage coming out for Dancer. Maybe he's just going to really take the whole hit and run playstyle seriously there. Because Nyx is low on health. As long as Dancer doesn't let Nyx hit anything to Death Strike, he might be in a good spot. Might have to pre-cloak the next stun though, because he won't have a trinket for it. Because Nyx will just Legendborn, stun him, not give him a second chance. If he pre-cloaks it, maybe he can time a cloak for that stun. He might be able to run away and shadow meld. That's about all I can think of. Nyx being proactive here. Picking up the eye, looking for the rogue. Should be able to find him. Dancer is just sitting on the corner. Should be able to maybe sap him. He's trying to go the long way in case the rogue is there with a cheap shot. Getting a shot to follow. Does he get a Legendborn? He does get a Legendborn immediately with a chain of ice on the Dancer. Does not go for a stun yet. And actually, Dancer takes the opportunity of that Legendborn just to sprint out of there. Nyx still has a stun if needed. Does he use that stun during the Cloak of Shadows though? That is the worst part if he does. As Dancer just trying to see if he can get out of that situation. Does get a stun regardless. That's going to be a couple of death strikes to catch up on a little bit of health. Evasion up for Dancer, but Nyx got him on the full kiting lockdown. That's going to be on the raw trinket, proccing yet again on 31% damage, still doing quite a bit of healing. Dancer getting quite a good amount of eviscerate damage in there with Shadow Blades rolling. That's going to be quite a efficient death strikes coming out for Nyx. They're getting quite a bit of health. That's going to be a death pack. Perfect opportunity for Dancer to maybe ramp up a little bit of damage. But with a chance fusion, maybe Nyx might be able to equalize. Is burning through his own necrotics. AMS still running on him. And Dancer is now losing health with a Malak running on the guy. Does he have a Shadow Step? Does. Shadow Step to Fortune with a Smoke Bomb to follow Nyx. He sees where the rogue is at. Actually landing a sap somehow. Catches a reset. Nyx forced to trinket out of it. Into a kidney shot. Has a Legendborn for that one. Into a stun onto Dancer. Has a trinket coming up in just a few seconds. He's not going to need it, but that same trinket is going to be coming down for him. Using Crucible, I think defensively trying to heal himself up. At 36% dampening, not going to be good. Cheap shot onto Nyx. You see how more stuns to follow. Another Muck for Death Eviscerate ready. Does try to get that damage back to back, but doesn't get to. And Judo Master, looks like it was Fortune DC. Judo Master, last one left on Team Red. Nyx going for that chance fusion. Trying to see if he can get a heal through a Fist of Fury. He can parry left and right, but still is able to get at least some sort of healing. Might go down here. And Judo Master doesn't even give him a chance. 11 minutes in, 22... 39% dampening, 1125. Is it going to be DV? DVGS? DVGZ? It is DV up next as a Survival Hunter. I don't think he even mogged his gear unless that is a mog to confuse the enemy. Maybe that's not even mogged. Hard to tell. But Judo is going to land an Incap on the guy. He still has every cooldown available except for teleport. So you can at least back up out of here. DVG has taken quite a bit of sustained damage from Judo. Almost getting locked down in a ring. Does have a knockback for Judo, but it doesn't actually send him flying anywhere. That's just coming out on DVGS. Does he go for a turtle shell? He does go for a turtle shell at the last moment. And you actually saw Judo Master backing up after landing that touch of death onto DV. He knew that he was going to go for turtle shell, trying to disrupt the healing from DV into a freezing trap to follow. DV is kind of in a bad situation. Very low in health, out of defenses completely, does land himself a camo at least. If he could survive in that camo just for a little bit longer versus Judo, he might be able to gain quite a bit of health. Resetting traps all over the place. Actually, Judo Master does port up and almost knocks stuff off the platform. DV is hoping to maybe get a bit of kiting going. Does get hit in a leg sweep. That's going to be a trinket out of him as he disengaged. Harpoons to Judo, but getting locked down in an Incap. Stun onto Judo. Trinket to follow for Judo as he's just trying to use the trinket to one-shot DV. Not giving him a chance. Freezing trap, but still that karma is ticking a little bit. Does go for a bit of a feigned death. Does he get himself a reset yet? Again, he's still alive. He's still kicking. 12 minutes in, trying to go for a bit of regenerating. Judo does not let the cast go for too long. DV is trying to go for a bit of an aspect of the eagle, but he doesn't have enough damage. Doesn't have enough disengages in this fight. And next up is going to be MML Procs. Landing an opener onto Judo. It's going to be quite a bit of bleed damage out of MML. Is he going to go for a full big setup here? Is going to get a big old bite. Judo porting away, and MML is right on his trail immediately. Ring of Peace does come out to stop MML from getting over. He does get 2 Crucibles back to back on the Judo. He knows there's no karma available for a good while, so he should be able to pressure the offensive here. You got to hit him with an Incap for a second. Does he send him Malak at Judo? He does not. Oh, so okay, maybe he would have. Judo tried to lock him out with a Fist of Fury. Going to be pretty wild for him. And Blocks with a leg sweep to follow. Blocks is not going anywhere. Judo is just trying to buy himself some time until the karma is available. Dragon kick it to the other side of the arena. 13 minutes in. Prox just making sure to leave at least a Moonfire on the guy. And Judo, he's just taking so much pressure from all his abilities. Judo tried to beef up his own health a little bit. Does he go for a touch of death reversal onto Prox? Does get hit with a stun. Big bite might come out for Prox. I think this could be the end to Judo. Has Karma in 10 seconds. Can survive for 10 seconds. Such a death onto Prox. 10 seconds needed. Vivify getting locked out. And Prox does end up taking him out. Not sure what happened to Fortin. But that was quite a bit of a back and forth for everybody. It takes to surviving for 3 million damage. Hamburger coming up and actually making the Boomy playstyle work with the prog base. That was a good duel to start the day out, boys. Waste of Karma, you think so? Well, maybe he was kind of hoping that he would survive the other guy, but he didn't expect for it to be MML procs, most likely. What's that talking? Is that my weapon?